Your girl does not feel good today, but an off day is an off day and I hate wasting those. If you don't know, I live in the south and it has been unreasonably snowy outside. I haven't been able to enjoy my own cars for the past week and it's kind of killing me. I feel very, very restless. I took the Miata out yesterday while I was at work and it couldn't even get enough traction in first gear to move at all, much less get enough traction to have fun in it whatsoever. We probably get snow maybe 2-3 days out of the year if we're lucky. This year has just been a lot worse, but now it's kind of at the point where I'm just really fed up with having all of the ice and slush on the ground outside because the South does not know how to handle that. But before my day back at work yesterday, I had been working from home for about 4 days, which was very, very cozy and very needed. A little change of topic. I am usually the world's biggest foodie, but like I said, I haven't been feeling good today, and one of my friends was kind enough to take me to go get coffee, and we ran by the Korean market, and I got some Korean sweet potatoes, which I have had one time, and I've been obsessed with them since then. I'd say it's a lot more custardy and creamy than a normal sweet potato is. This one has a more toasty, nutty flavor to it. I'm gonna eat this whole thing and probably the other one because it's the only thing in the world that sounds good to me right now, and I'll see you in a second. Honestly, the roads might be okay for a trip out. Look at this. It's my own ice skating rink. I kind of want to take the chance and get out right now on the 240. Oh, it's dark in here. Are you scared? Good morning. I am really fed up with having an OEM hood because of how freaking heavy it is. And the only aftermarket hood that I really like the style of is an M Sports hood, but holy expensive, even the fiberglass ones. Taking the bumper off really should not be that hard. I believe it's just these 3 bolts and some zip ties on the sides. This bumper is in shambles, and I told myself that the next time I take it off, it's never going back on, and I am actively reaching out to people to get quotes on painting my new front end. It's a shark nose front end, so I hope I can make that happen really soon. I don't want to put this back on, but I also am really over running a bumperless car, which I haven't done in a few years, but I don't want to get stuck back in that cycle again, because getting this back on is actually a pain. I'm going to need to turn the wheels either which way so that I can access where it mounts to the fenders. There goes the auto seatbelt. I don't know if you could hear it. Okay, I might need to start the car. There actually used to be hardware right here holding this together, but every single time I've put hardware in there, it has just rattled out, so I have given up. I think it's just 2 zip ties on each side. The reason I even want to go out today is because I've been playing on my Switch a lot. I restarted my Animal Crossing island because I want to play the update, and it's super inconvenient timing because I have the worst stick drift known to man, and I need new controllers. The more I look at it, the more damage I notice, and it makes me really sad, honestly. I'm just super over the look. Just making sure it's not holding on to anything else anywhere. See, one more zip tie. I haven't seen the backside in so long. I'm honestly a little bit curious about what the underside looks like because I have been scraping like an MF recently. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Oh my lord. This is what a middle grade paint job gets you. I got what I paid for, but there's a lot of chipping on the car. Like this everywhere. Before you say anything, I know what consequences I was asking for by having very minimal support on this bumper. I honestly think this car looks pretty cool without a bumper. I think the paint matched bash bar really helps. Alright, it is time to get her started and see how these roads are looking. I never ever let the car warm up in the garage because when we first moved here, the car sat in the garage with the door open for a while, and we left in the car and shut the garage door as soon as we pulled out, and we came back and the fire department had showed up ready to cut our garage door down. Lesson learned. Had to grab my wallet and my water and we are good to go. Look how cute my wallet is. I'm the biggest How to Train Your Dragon fan in the world. A lot of my favorite movies are like Disney and Pixar animated movies, so I have kind of a hard time talking about my interest in those because I feel like it's just a little childish. But I want to become more open about my interests that I'm embarrassed about. So in the comments, I would love if you told me about an interest in a movie, any sort of media that you're just a little bit embarrassed about so we can break the ice. So much more confident taking inclines without my bumper. This is so funny. It looks like a drift missile right now. It kind of looks really cool. Like looking for Nintendo physical media, especially Nintendo Power, which is a monthly subscription that Nintendo used to send out. I forget which years it went out, but it doesn't look like they have any right now. So I just looked and Nintendo Power ran from 1988 to 2012, which I wasn't aware it started that early, but that's super cool to know. I have 3 issues, I think, so I'm always on the lookout for them. I would love to hear about it in the comments if any of you have any weird little niche things that you like to collect like that. There's just so much nostalgia to take in. That hot pink DSi is the exact edition that I had growing up. Oh, I want a PSP so bad too. I just want one of everything. I, for some reason, am really obsessed with Nintendo's biggest failures of consoles, and that's one of them. I need it. My Sims Racing for the DS. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up playing The Sims, and it is insane to see all of the little things that they used to do before the staple 2, 3, and 4 came out. So that was a little bit of a bust. They only had colored controllers. For all of my consoles, I really prefer either white, blue, or black. Looked at Walmart and Target's inventory, and they also don't have anything except for colored controllers. So we are SOL, but that's okay. I'm just gonna take the L and go back home. So if you watched my last video, you may have seen my friend David was able to 3D print a little piece that should fit perfectly on the 240's gas door release to fix it. I actually posted a reel on Facebook and Instagram about the process of getting gas in the 240, and it got 2.4 million views and a lot of angry comments that I had a broken gas door. I've actually been asked a lot of questions about my antenna, and the reason that it's stuck extended all the time is it used to work and I sent the car to get painted and it just came back broken. I tried to replace it with an entire new assembly and even took my old one apart, cleaned it up to try to see what's wrong, but the gears were just shattered in both of them. So I gave up. I really like the look of the extended antenna anyways, and it doesn't bother me to have to move it when I open my trunk because I rarely have to use the trunk of this car anyways, except when I'm getting gas. Hopefully not for much longer. I take the screwdriver out and it releases the gas door. So I've got it pulled out and it looks a little different than the one that's 3D printed, but it should be fine. You can see here, it's all kinds of shattered. This would be why it's not working. Starting out with a flathead screwdriver, you're going to want to get this entire metal piece off of the assembly. So just pried it off of camera because it's really tedious and fragile. Now this is a little bit scary to do because it feels irreplaceable, but I'm going to use pliers to bend this metal out of the way to be able to get the plastic part out because it's holding in the clip that's broken. Okay, despite how scary it was, we finally got it bent far enough and I'm able to slide this right out, and this piece also slides out.
Okay, well,
I started recording right after, but it shattered and went everywhere, but that's fine, we won't need it anymore. Yay, 30-year-old plastic. Finally got it back on, and we should be able to just slide it back into the gas door slot and screw the nut on, and it should be able to hold just fine. Okay, we got the mechanism squeezed behind the gas door with the new clip poking out, and I'm going to screw the nut on, which I'm hoping it's not too big to get in the way of the metal latch on the actual door. The threads are kind of screwed on the mechanism, so I have him holding it inside of the trunk for me just so I can see if it works.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? It's flipped. That has to be flipped the other way to like clear through that.
Okay, I'll take it out and do it again. So he got back inside the trunk to pull the mechanism back out, and he reached his hand down below the trunk.
you know, I thought I like lost these somewhere else.
Got it flipped around and tried closing the gas door, and it works. But if we let go, this nut is not what I need to keep it held in. So I'm going to get David to see if he can 3D print another one for me, see if we can get it working right. So that's a semi-win on the tiny project for today, but at least now I know what's wrong with it, have it pinpointed, and it just needs a little narrowing down and fine-tuning to get the right piece 3D printed. But now it's dark and cold outside, and I just want to go inside and be cozy. Alright, good night 240. I am finally back inside. I wanted to unlock a new area for you. This is where I do all of my gaming and majority of my art when I'm not doing it on my iPad. And like I talked about in the beginning of the video, I think having your own space and time to dedicate to your crafts, hobbies, whatever it may be, is incredibly important. And I tend to neglect the organization of this area a little bit because I spend a lot of time at work, and the creativity time that I do have here sometimes is pretty rushed, so I'm just not super worried about keeping it organized as long as it can do what it needs to do. But tonight I want to get it looking more cozy and inviting for when I come home all week. Good morning. It is a little bit sad compared to yesterday. Actually mid-70s, snow is gone, but I have a little bit of free time to myself today. I wanted to hit up one of my favorite cafes and hopefully get some Nintendo gear on the way home. Not that I need to be focusing on doing that, but your girl has a hobby. I am so glad that I decided to take the BRZ today. It is always so comfy and easy to drive. I found a friend to park with though. And it's a manual! Oh, I love these cars. That was actually one of the cars that I was looking into getting and test driving before I got the BRZ, but BRZ was just a better deal and a lot more space overall, and I regret nothing, but I still go back into my dreams of wanting a black RF every single time I see one. It is getting a little bit cold outside, honestly. I didn't think that I would need more clothes than what I'm wearing now, but I also didn't expect it to be cloudy. If you've never been to La La Land, they have heart-shaped straws, and it's the cutest thing in the world. I got a large iced banana cloud latte with oat milk. Look at that happy face. I guess two happy faces. Hello! Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but my car is really dirty right now anyways. I do really want to go to a park and sit down and write in my journal because I haven't done that in quite a while. I do have my emergency car blanket with me since this is a little chilly outside, perfect circumstances. I really hate how much the weather affects our moods. I know a lot of my friends up north are really struggling with that right now, and I know it's hard because you're kind of guilt-tripping yourself in the back of your head. You don't have a logical explanation as to why you're feeling the way you are, but I think a lot of people forget that the sun has a lot to do with the love that you have for yourself, how you feel. That's crazy, the sun is coming out while I'm saying that. Yeah, basically all that to say that you should stop blaming yourself, stop guilt-tripping yourself. It will pass. Just do the best that you can for yourself right now until the passing does come. I rarely do stuff like this on my own, and when I do stuff like this, it makes me realize how dependent I am on people and human connection. I know being a people person is a good thing, but sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I have a little bit of a hard time going and doing things by myself, and it's not because I'm afraid, but it's because I feel like my time spent is incomplete without human connection, which leads me to a lot of panic, honestly, when I decide that I'm going to go do something by myself, and that's just not healthy at all. So one of my biggest goals this year is to get out by myself, spend a lot of time with myself, and get comfortable with being alone. I also feel like nowadays social media and the internet as a whole has put a lot of pressure onto people to be social and share a lot with the internet, with their friends, be in constant communication. But at the end of the day, our brains weren't really structured for that in the first place. Of course, you should put a lot of time and love into developing and maintaining your friendships, but it's also a wonderful thing to make sure that you're not feeling guilty when you're by yourself, that you're not feeling afraid when you're by yourself. You don't feel like you're lacking, missing out. So this is your sign to get out, get some sun if you can, and spend some time with yourself. Talk to yourself, talk to your journal, disconnect for a little bit. To be honest, I've been struggling a little bit in trying to decide what I want my content to look like moving forward on this platform. Because as much as I love my cars and as much as my thought process revolves around them all the time, in reality, I don't get to work on them a whole lot. But I do have an incredible drive to be creative, and a lot of my time outside of work is spent being creative, running errands, kind of just doing what's best for myself when I can, whether or not it involves the cars. So ultimately, what works best for me right now is bringing you along on whatever adventures that I can, which I really enjoy. And I love the thought of continuing to do that in the future. So I would love to hear your thoughts and input in the comments too. How do you feel about hanging out with me in general, and me involving my cars here and there when I can? It is finally time to go to the game store. I have been looking for one of these, but that is an insane price. Y'all, I blacked out a little bit, especially when the lady at the counter said buy two, get one free. But I only spent $30 and I got 4 Nintendo Power issues. Are you kidding me? That's like the price of one on eBay. So I am overjoyed. I'll show you in order from my least favorite to my favorite. This was my last option because I had to pick one more to get for free. So I only grabbed this one because it says Mario Kart Wii on the top, full review for it. Also the 20th anniversary edition Nintendo Power. I also think it's super cool on some of these that you can see the address, name, and date of who was subscribed to the Nintendo Power, who this issue was specifically made for. Like, this name is printed onto the magazine, it's not a sticker. It was in 2008 and it was sent to Round Rock, Texas, and it made it here with me. This next one that I grabbed had a Super Mario Galaxy 2 review in it, so that was a non-negotiable. It also says right here, 8-bit Grand Theft Auto ? This one I am also overjoyed to have, Super Mario Bros. Wii. There's also a segment in this magazine that picks the best Zelda game ever, so I'm curious as to what that was. I have a lot of precious memories with so many Nintendo games, but one of my favorites was me and my little sisters used to get off of school and we would walk a few miles to a library in the small town that we lived in because they had a huge flat screen TV and a Wii that was open to use to the public, and they had Super Mario Bros. So that was my first experience with that, but we would obsessively play it for hours until we got kicked off, and I think that is one of the cutest things in the world. We were having so much fun. Oh my god, my favorite Zelda game is mentioned in this one. The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. The moment of truth, they named the Ocarina of Time the best Zelda game at the time in 2008. The one that I'm most excited for. I actually came here specifically for this one because my friends went to this location like a week ago and they sent me a video going through the magazines, and I was like, hold on. Today is the first chance that I've had to come back and pick it up, and I'm so happy it was still there. May of 2010, it was the announcement of Super Mario Galaxy 2. Everything about this cover I'm obsessed with. If you know me, you know that my brain chemistry is permanently altered by Mario Galaxy. Okay, no matter how excited I am very, very hungry and ready to go home and do some art, but I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I would love to hear what you want to see from me in the future if you're happy with this style of content that doesn't really include a whole lot of cars, but still keeps the essence of it, you know? And thank you for all of the support on my last video. I really wasn't expecting that, and it's super, super precious and motivating. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Outside, honestly. I didn't think that I would need more. Oh my god.